Hey, good morning. Happy New Year. It is January the 2nd of 2024. I hope everybody's year started off well. You were able to celebrate and recuperate. I tell you now that I'm just catching up on some of the stuff that, man, we had a wonderful end of the year and beginning of the new year. So I want to spread that joy and blessings onto you. I also wanted to go over some charts this morning and just get a feel for the market in the new year, just so you'll know what you're looking at and just see how it's looking right now. I think we ended the year with UJ being on an uptrend and making some moves that way. And I think we're gonna sorry for the pause. I think we're going to So, if you brought your coffee, I had to send a message, sorry. If you brought your coffee, get your coffee if you haven't. But let's get into the charts. So, what I wanted, what I let's do this for the charts. So UJ right now on the daily candle, it looks like we have 7 hours left on it, so it's kind of having some bullish activity. What it could have done on the daily time frame is, and this is just the assumption because this is a low probability if you're on the daily anyway, but it could have went there and respected that. You see that zone there? Especially since it's going up, it could go up there and respect it, or this could just be a retracement on the daily, so you just never know. So taking that off, we're going to go down to the 4-hour chart where we normally would take our trades. On UJ, we're going to put that level of support that it has come to. Let's shrink it a little bit to see if that level has been respected in the past. And it really has. So that level there, just know and take into consideration a wick here, but we're going to use this as a level of support on our 4-hour, and then it's still trending below the 200 EMA, so considered still a downtrend, because if you were to draw the parallel trend line or just a trend line over the top, you would still get that downtrend sentiment. So on the higher time frames, just know that we want to keep that sentiment until we see something that breaks the sentiment. Hold on. She needs to touch every level of that. And okay, drawing the proper trend line can be a challenge sometimes, but we want to see if that trend line is going to break above this area, or if it tends to do that, we're looking at these areas too. There's an area here that we're looking at to see if it'll break. There's an area here to see if it'll break, and then there's an area here. If it breaks this area, we're just going to really start looking at how it's breaking it, and then if it is changing trend. But for right now, it broke the previous low, and it's approaching the second previous low. And I just want to see what it's going to do. We still have 3 hours and 18 minutes on this candlestick. On the lower time frames, like I said, 15 minute, 30 minute is what I typically trade, and it could, because there's some imbalances here, but if you can tell on the 30 minute, it has broke above the trend line. And if we want to go down to our 50 EMA to see how it's respecting that, it's broke above it. So we may have, and there's some support here on the 30 that it could be respecting. So let's just watch UJ. For the monthly, I was looking at last night. There's an all-time monthly high that it made. So we want to see if it breaks above this monthly. Is it retracing right now and just come back up and break this all-time high? Or is this going to change the trend back down? So just watch UJ. I think it's a really good pair to stay watching. If you trade 5 or 15 minute, even this morning, you could have caught something, because let's see here. It didn't necessarily touch that area, but it did go, if you can see here, and feel this imbalance. So I wouldn't have taken that. But if you're trading on the lower time frames, just be mindful of what the higher time frames are doing. I see that it's typically a double top here, so I wouldn't really just get in any trades that I'm confident in. Now, our other pair that we love to trade is GJ. GJ looks like it is doing some, let me see if I could I don't have any drawings on at the moment, but there was a strong level of support on the 4 hour here. I'm sorry, on the daily. And then the 4 hour has a strong level in this area as well. I'm looking at the daily here, because that's a really strong level. It hit 1, 2, it broke, and just tried to fill this imbalance over here, but it didn't stay. So it kept trending and filling imbalances as it was moving, like it should. But this level here on the daily is strong, and I see that it's breaking below that. So we may start to have more of a stronger downtrend, because if you can see on the 4 hour, it's breaking above and below consistently. It's not just staying below the EMA. So before I see any of that, I'd like to see, before I get into anything, any sales, I'd like to see it break below this area and continue down on the 4 hour. So right now you could probably scalp it and get something here. It's a supply here that it could probably go up to this area, or either, as long as it stays within the supply zone and doesn't break above, you could get something here if it continues to go down to break or trend to this area. So GJ's pretty good as far as that. And then gold is the last one I want to do for y'all today. Gold has been on an uptrend due to the holidays. You know, it's not had huge volume, but this day here, which was December 23rd, it did something immaculate. And it doesn't look like it was involving news, but it definitely looks like a news candle. But since then, I mean, we've had little volume due to the holidays. Let me take my my 50 off and put my 200 on. So it's still considered for me in an uptrend. It has a low here, which is where it started. And then you got a higher low here, a higher low here, which in return is a higher high, higher high. Still barely went higher, but it's a higher high. It could be losing volume to break down and start trending downward, or it could be just because of the holidays we have these small candles, which is what I'm going to go with. So the current candle on today is looking a little more bullish than the previous close of the previous candle, but we want to make sure that we wait until the candle closes before we make those decisions. So dropping down to the 4 hour, we deemed it was an uptrend on the daily. 4 hour looks like it's still on an uptrend, but for gold, I'm going to draw this level of support here. Because not to say anything, but it looks like a head and shoulders. But I'm still trying to wait and see what this current candle is going to do. The reason why I said it looks like a head and shoulders is because of this area here, and this area here, and this area here. It just looks like it. I'm just saying, y'all. But when it broke above the previous low, I'm just watching for gold. And the reason that I'm watching is because it's kind of not moving. You got to be aware of, the market during these times. Because if it would have broke, it may just be going up here to feel something. Or let's not forget about the orders that it goes up and picks up the cash flow from, which is called liquidity. So let's just see. We'll wait and see. The extra confluence that I use for my gold chart is the Dixie. So right now the Dixie on the daily is in a downtrend, which would coincide with the uptrend for gold. So y'all, let's just wait and watch. I'm not getting in anything today. I have time, you have time, and just remember the biggest skill in Forex and making sure that you stay in profit is just being patient and waiting on the trade to evolve into what you have for your strategy and what your eyes train for. So that's pretty much all I had. I wanted to come on and at least do some analysis for y'all today regarding some of these pairs. Hopefully y'all have a great rest of the New Year week. And if I don't see you again before then, be safe. And until next time, if you've not subscribed, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. I appreciate you watching. Bye for now.